Update 14 is a month late. Everything is, it is what it is. My life has kind of been a little bit of a mess lately, but it's fine. It's fine. We got a little bit of things to do in terms of, I gotta write some loot tables, and I gotta update the quest book. And I gotta make sure that our new system for Catalyst is balanced. The funny thing is that the Java people of the team have already started writing things for update 15, which is aimed in July, right? The one thing that made us develop versions for Vault Hunters quicker when we had Vault Hunters SMP running was obviously the quality control. Me and Barry and H-Bomb, we were all like gaming, right, quite often. And so we were able to test out features. Now there's always this worry that, oh, did I forget to change like a quest title? Did I mess something up? It's not like automatically coming to me. And I do want to share something pretty special with you all. The roadmap for Vault Hunters has been laid out as so. Update 14 now, whenever I'm done with the balancing and the loot tables. The Java stuff in Vault Hunters 14 is done. I need to update the quests, which we are doing today. And hopefully we can post update 14 tomorrow. No, Sunday, because the CurseForge closes on the weekend. Vault Hunters 15 is mid-July, and Vault Hunters 15 will be released when Vault Hunters SMP starts. Not released, it will be played on Vault Hunter SMP and then released to you guys. So you guys will probably have update 15, barring any big errors happening. You guys will probably have access to update 15 end of July. Update 16 is the update that contains the greed vaults, the endgame content, which is currently planned end of September. And that is the final update of Vault Hunters 3rd edition. We are then moving on from whenever we release update 16 to the year end is the current scope of time, is when we start porting Vault Hunters to the latest Minecraft version, whatever it is at the time, be it 121 or be it 120. We're porting it to the latest Minecraft version. At that time, we are doing something pretty massive, which is we are... this may change, by the way, as we get into this, but the current plan is to get completely launcher independent, okay? So we are rewriting any class, any function that relies on an API, that relies on a library. This means that we can run Vault Hunters on Fabric, on Quilt, and on Forge. That's bigger for people who want to make their own mod pack of Vault Hunters than for the official version. But it's still a pretty big step. It's going to require lots of effort, and it's stuff that you can't really see. It's like boring stuff, behind the scenes stuff. But we're doing it because I think that it supports the modded community the best to be available for all launchers. This will also allow us to make Vault Hunters vanilla. Vault Hunters 4th edition will be released as a Vault Hunters 4, which is actually Vault Hunters on top of vanilla, and Vault Hunters 4 modded, which is kind of like Vault Hunters 3 in that it has a lot of mods to support it. And I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited to be able to say that Vault Hunters is a good enough mod to not rely on any other mods. You can run it with vanilla Minecraft. And that is then planned for next summer. So like, let's say this time next year, I want Vault Hunters 4 out. And the biggest thing, there's not a lot of new features or anything like that. It's all about, there will be a bit, of course, with update 16. It's all about being able to run it on a vanilla client. And then, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, when we've done that, we have made the decision, me and Vutax, to make an independent game. Not a Minecraft game, an independent game. We're hoping to continue to get, this is only possible through the support of our patrons. And we'll post more about this after update 16. We'll make a whole thing about this. But Bisect Hosting, which is a great hosting company, has made it possible for us to take the step into making a standalone video game with the vision of Vault Hunters that runs like Vault Hunters minus the Minecraft part. A first-person RPG, action RPG, hack and slash, fast-paced game. We're gonna put it on Steam. We're gonna sell this game. We're gonna charge for it. And we're gonna put it... My plan is to put it, the full version, no in-game purchases, no upsells, no hidden things. The full game at $9.99. $9.99 on Steam. That's the plan, yeah. That's my very... that's my plan at the moment. And so I don't know what's possible, but that's what I've been doing some maths around. You know, we'll probably have some of these... maybe we do a Kickstarter. We'll probably have like a funders version for people who want to support the game. They get like a cosmetic or something, things like this. But I think that we can sell it at $10. That's without a Steam sale. Of course, then Steam does their sales and you can buy cheaper and stuff like that. So Vault Hunters will become a standalone game outside Minecraft. Yes, that is the goal. We are starting the work though, summer 2025. So we are not looking at having anything like realistically 2 years from now. Please add Vault Hunters for Bedrock. If we could, we would have done that already. If I could add Vault Hunters, and we may explore that again. I actually have a meeting with Microsoft about this planned. How cool is that, eh? And if we could sell it on the marketplace for like $2, Vault Hunters, then that would be great. But the problem is that there aren't that many options for making proper mods on the marketplace. It's mostly just textures and scripts. I hope you guys are excited for this. As I say, more info will come. We do need to finish the game loop first, though. We are very confident in the greed system for Vault Hunters. We're very confident in update 15, which is actually going to add quite a bit of content. Very confident in overall in the game itself, and that's exciting. But here's the funny thing. I'm going to leak something about update 15. New ability, update 15. Ice Bolt. Very low mana cost, low cooldown, applies chilling on hit, amplifier depends on the level of Ice Bolt, does not arch, goes straight in a projectile and pretty quickly traveling projectile. Fast projectile speed, goes up with level. It does not proc on hit effects like Fire Shot does, for example. This ability has great early game crowd control potential and great end game potential for etchings. So we're adding a new ability that I hope is viable on like level 1, level 2. It doesn't do any damage, but it chills the mobs, and it can be comboed with other things. So it's not like reliant on ability power. And then there's another version of it as well called Glacial Blast. So that's a new ability for update 15 that's coming. Just to enable the early game spell casting more and not go Javelin and stuff like this. It will be really cheap on mana. Very, very low mana cost. Like, you probably won't notice the mana cost very much on the early levels of the ability. What quality of life mods, if any, would be planned in the vanilla version, iskall? None. We are building our own versions of certain things. We are going to have the block mod that we have, auxiliary blocks, because that's my block mod. We're going to have sophisticated backpacks. We are going to make our own storage system for the vanilla version. Do you guys want me to spill the beans on the storage system that I've designed? I've designed it together with Peppa. Okay, here it is. You guys are going to be either super impressed or like a bit meh. Okay, here we go. We are going to build storage natively in Vault Hunters. It is going to require a few blocks. We're going to make our Ender Barrel. And our Ender Barrel is a personalized, so only the player who places it can access it, or no, any player can access their own Ender Barrel, like an Ender chest. It is going to be, probably, it's going to have infinite space. Okay? And it is going to be upgradable somehow into having a crafting and search unit. Or no, it has a search unit by default. But it's going to have the possibility to also order or craft like you can in refined storage. In addition to that, we're also going to do our something called an Ender Hopper. It's not actually an ender hopper. It's like a, what's it called? An ender conduit. An ender conduit. And the way an ender conduit works is that if you hopper items into it, it is going to send it to any other ender conduit you have placed in your world. Now that may sound complicated, but the way we have designed this is actually super simple. You can use vanilla's filters, like with hoppers in vanilla, to have multiple ender conduits placed and filter out the item you're looking for, and that way you can route items in your entire world without a problem. So why is it so OP? Well, it's so OP because I don't care about storage. I want you to play Vault Hunters and have fun and not have to worry about your storage. There might be a research path that you have to do to unlock the infinite storage. So I might make it so that it's like 3 different versions of the Ender Barrel and you have to unlock it with research. The idea is to not be stuck with a storage issue, but to be able to play the game. We're sorting out the storage by doing an OP storage system. Now keep in mind, we also release Vault Hunters modded. So if you're more into modded, you will not have that in the modded version. It'll be disabled and you'll have to go down the path of like refined storage or whatever you do, kind of like now. But yeah, I really think that this is the way to go. And yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been thinking about how to do this and what to do a lot. And I think that this is the right course of action. I don't think I want to over-focus on making the player make like a technical system. Because the way I see it as well is that if you are playing the vanilla version of Vault Hunters, you're there to play Vault Hunters. You're not there to play Minecraft or modded. And I think there are a lot of people that appeals to, honestly. I think a lot of people like will look at that and think, you know what, I don't like modded Minecraft, but I will play this. Another thing that we'd probably build into our vanilla version of Vault Hunters would be a grave mod. Because I think that vanilla should do this. I think that when you die in vanilla Minecraft, a ghost should spawn of you, or a statue. And when you right click the statue, a ghost spawns wearing your stuff. And you have to defeat this ghost. And then you get your items back. A lot of things in the vanilla version, I think we can still work with, like making faster furnaces and stuff like this. Faster hoppers is another thing. There are a bunch of things for the vanilla game that we can tie to knowledge. Like, for example, alchemy, right? Unlock bigger potions. Backpacks can stay the way that it is as well. Things like that. And then our storage situation. We can probably do a knowledge thing about as well. So I don't think we need other mods. I think we can make this game really good without the mod integration, which is going to allow more people to run the game, by the way, because it's going to be less heavy on the computer. We probably even have people in chat that play this game but doesn't really interact with mods. I've seen a lot of examples on that on like the Reddits and Discords in the past, at least. And I mean, that makes me happy in one way because, like, of course, originally you would think that like, oh, you play Vault Hunters to play modded Minecraft. But I think that we've grown out of that. We have grown up. I wanted to talk a little bit about update 15 as well, the update that's coming in July. But I don't know if I might confuse too many people because we are like in the middle of testing these things and you haven't really seen the update 14 stuff. So basically, maybe I should start with update 14. I do need to write the patch notes for this anyway. What we have done is we have redone how you modify crystals. And I've spoken about this before. There are videos on iskall about it as well. But as a quick recap, basically now you put you can craft whatever catalyst you choose to craft. There's no longer RNG in what catalyst you get. You choose what catalyst to craft. And that's a huge change. And the main reason it's like that is because I want to enforce more target looting. I want to make it possible for you to play the game and say, you know what? I really want to hunt for some gear. And then I want you to be able to like get yourself a big ornate crystal without relying on RNG. In doing that, we have also removed the instability system that was in the game, which made the crystals have a random chance of becoming unusable. And now it's up to the player to make the crystal harder by modifying it more. Now, some people were heavily against this because it does also remove the chance of getting uber crystals, like super good crystals. But we have made it, we've made that a possibility still, and I hope we get to that. I've many times, I think I've mentioned this, but I want to say it again. I've many times had to defend to the others in the team why, like, because many of the team members have felt that we have kept making Vault Hunts easier and easier, and they felt like it's kind of cringe, the game is too easy now. First of all, I don't think it is. But second of all, I realized that, like, in these types of games where you collect loot and you gear up your character and stuff like this, the goal is the journey in a way. Like, the goal is to become overpowered. Surely. The fun part is when you get so strong that you can just, you know, loot 500 chests and swing through mobs like they're nothing and stuff like this. Am I wrong in that? That's at least why I play like games like Diablo. Because you think of something like Diablo and you're like, wait a minute. They definitely 100% have this thing where you play to get overpowered. And it's fun. That's the point. Yeah, exactly. The point isn't necessarily... I mean, it's good that there are challenging objects that you chase to be able to complete. Like, for example, you want to get that super pickaxe because... well, it's fun to have an OP pickaxe or whatever it may be, right? And I've recently, only recently, I've realized that the way I have to like convince people, if I ever have to convince people with this, is by simply saying, look, the goal isn't, and I think I had a lot of discussions with Tango Frags. Tango Frags is a big enjoyer of like Dark Souls and these type of like, you know, sweaty games where it's actually quite hard to play well. And we had quite a few discussions, and I realized, like, you know, it's about the journey to get to the powerful state. You spend time, you become better at the game itself, and all of these things, to be at the position where you can just mow down an entire room with Poison Nova and link the effects of, like, you know, all of these things. And so anyway, I really do think that these games like Path of Exiles, Diablo, what other action RPG like Last Epoch, I really do think that these games are all about the joy of being powerful. And it's with that in mind that I am designing the greed system, the end game loop that will go over and over again. I'm gonna allow you guys to become so overpowered that you can just enjoy, basically, you know? And I'm excited about that. The balance of OP and challenging is also important, in my opinion. Yeah, I think a better word for challenging could be chase. In my opinion, Vault Hunters have an edge on games like Path of Exile and Diablo in that it's first person. Like, by default... Maybe this is not true, but by default in my head, it is harder to master a game in first person aiming and all of this, than it is to master an isometrical game, a top-down perspective. So already there, like, the challenge of Vault Hunters comes from you becoming better at that part of the game, right? And there are other challenges as well, like the mobs do hit harder. You do need to keep up with gear, but those exist in Diablo and Path of Exile as well. What I mean is, I've always enjoyed, and I've said this before, but I've always enjoyed killing large groups of mobs over having an individual fight with one mob, and like dodging and weaving and doing all of these things. And we didn't choose because of me. Like, I didn't choose to go down that avenue. I chose to go down the avenue of high intensity, like, satisfaction to the player by letting them kill a lot of things. And as we move into power creep and endgame in Vault Hunters, I feel like that is an important aspect that should stay in the game. I don't think it should ever be removed. Iskall, will there ever be a Hermitcraft Vault Hunt Season 2? I hope so, yeah, one day. But first, we're doing the Vault Hunter SMP, which has a lot of hermits playing in it. Falls and Stress and Etho is going to be playing as well. So that's exciting. That starts mid-July. Mid-July, ladies and gentlemen, everyone else.